In this video tutorial, we're going to share with you how to establish your layout and design settings. And really this is about choosing the logo, the colors, and the theme that's going to represent your InkSoft powered web store. So this is really a matter of decorating your website. So what we're going to do now is we're going to log in and we're going to select config. And from config, what we want to do is navigate to a store. Now, if you're doing this for the first time, we'll go ahead and click on store controls. For future purposes, we can go ahead and navigate to customer stores, choose the store, and then we'll be at the store control tab. So for every one of your InkSoft powered web stores, you have the ability to control the layout and styling. So from store controls, you'll notice an option that is called layout and styling. So I'll go ahead and select that option. Now, what we're going to do is the first thing I recommend doing is choosing the store theme. This is the theme or the interface that's going to represent your website. So pretty straightforward and easy process. So what we're going to do at this stage, now that we've selected that option, here we're greeted with the currently available layouts and themes. So we'll always be adding to this library, and effectively all I'm going to do is go ahead and apply a theme, and that's dynamically and automatically going to change the look of my website. So let's go open up a new page here, and let's look at the current layout and theme. I'm using Simple and Clean. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and apply the InkSoft updated theme, and you'll see if we go back to our site now and we refresh the page, you're going to see how that automatically and dynamically changes as soon as I make that selection. So you can see how quick that is to apply a different wireframe or theme to represent your website. So the very first thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and choose a theme that we want to use to represent this particular store. And as the new themes are released, you can simply apply it and it will dynamically change the site for you. So that's the first function I wanted to share with you as it relates to layout and styling. Now the next function I'm going to share with you is logo and colors. Now as soon as we select this option, and as the name may imply, this is how we're going to control colors and the logos that represent this particular theme. Now you'll notice here in red, please note colors may not work for the selected store theme. So some of these themes will be fixed in terms of its color decisions, so there won't be any ways to override some of these colors. But notice I have, working from top to bottom, I have the ability to first upload a logo to represent the store. So we can go ahead and choose File and browse for a logo and upload it. Now you'll always see little descriptors, so make sure to read some of these descriptors. Recommended image type, PNG. So you can see this Acme Apparel Company is a transparent PNG file, so it has a transparent background, so I don't see a white box surrounding this bitmap logo that I upload. Now we also have a prompt here that says recommended dimensions 300 by 100. So if you're working in CorelDRAW or Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop or Corel Photo Paint, any graphics design software, the thing you're going to want to do is establish a sort of a workspace to represent your logo size. That's the easiest way to create this logo. So I'm going to go ahead and fire up Adobe Illustrator here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a new document, and we'll create a web document, and I'm going to size it 300 by 100, which is effectively a rectangle. So anything that I design in this rectangle is going to size perfectly. So here I'm going to click on Web Document in Adobe Illustrator, and I'm going to put 300 by 100 pixel. That's going to be my unit of measure. And notice as I click OK, my workspace is going to be a perfect rectangle. So anything I design inside of this area, and when I go File, Save for Web and Device, everything on the outside of that green area gets automatically cut off. Everything on the inside preserves or remains. In fact, to demonstrate that further, let's go ahead and just draw a basic shape here, and we'll add a color to that so you can see exactly how this works. So here we have a basic rectangle, and I'll position it now, and I'm going to go File, Save for Web and Device, and you can see how that rectangle gets cut off, meaning as we export this, we're gonna have the rest of the area cut off. And of course this is a PNG file, so you can see that transparent checkered background. If I were to toggle this to a JPEG, you can see that fills it with white. So again, a 300 by 100 pixel PNG file, and that's what we would upload to represent our logo. Now again, we can choose the ability to align our logo left, center, or right, so make that decision here in this drop down. Now the opportunity that you have, if the store theme allows you to change the color of the website, you can go ahead and establish that now using the color controls. So you can see on the first theme where you can actually control the color of the header, and we can control text color. You can see that that is effective in this view that you see here. Now, as soon as I go ahead and click on a color, I'm just left mouse clicking, I can use my mouse to choose a color to represent my web store. So I'm going to go target or pinpoint a color family, and then I can dial in its intensity here on the right hand side. So notice this value updating, that's called a hexadecimal value. Now you can also use your eyedropper tool in Adobe Photoshop or Corel Photo Paint to target a color. So let's say that you upload a client logo. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a new document here. And let's go drag and drop a color icon for my workspace here. We'll use this. So what I could do is I can actually use my eyedropper in graphic design software, and I can target a color. So let's say that I have a client logo and they use blue, or that's the predominant color. I can go and target that specific color. I can click on the color swatch and I can copy and paste that hexadecimal value. So you can see that value here in my workspace. If I were to copy it and paste it into my workspace here, you can see that automatically updates. So this is a hexadecimal code. There's some really great websites that you can use, like Adobe Color, and they spell it with a K. That always confuses me. So kuler.adobe.com. Really great way to upload a logo and get matching colors to represent that particular logo. So a few other resources to use to generate hexadecimal color values to represent your store. So once you get to color.adobe.com, and again that's spelled with a K, Kuler, I have the ability to basically, well, you have to sign in, you have to have an account in order to do this. It's free, so you can create a free Adobe account. But effectively you can upload or create your own logo. Actually, it looks like you don't have to create an account, I'm sorry. So I'm going to upload a logo, and for my desktop here I can go ahead and choose a logo, and then we can extract, by using these tools here, we can extract different colors from this particular logo. So you do have to sign in to save this if you wanted to save and manage it. So really great ways to generate some color ideas. So that is the workflow as it relates to choosing colors for your theme or for your store. And choosing colors is things like the predominant color in the theme, choosing things like the text color, the link color as your mouse hovers over something, and also accent colors. Now you'll notice this as we scroll down, a favicon. So if you can look in my browser bar where I've just highlighted, you'll notice there's an A. And you'll notice for Adobe Color, you'll notice how they use a little KU logo that represents the color actual logo. So a favicon is a tiny logo that's used to represent your website. And if I bookmark a website, that logo becomes visible. So you can go ahead and upload a square image. So if you have a perfectly square image, go ahead and upload that, and you can establish your favicon. So here it says that it should be a 16 by 16 pixel icon representing the store logo. But again, if I were to upload a PNG file, 500 by 500 pixel, InkSoft will automatically compress and shrink down and create a favicon for your store. Now, an optional function at the very bottom is the ability to change the Design Studio background. So by default, the background for the Design Studio is going to have sort of an aluminum, sort of brushed metal look or effect. So you can see that here in the background. However, I can choose to override that with a solid color. So it's the same examples we used above in choosing a hexadecimal value to represent the background of the Design Studio, and it's going to go ahead and remove that sort of brushed aluminum background. Now I also have the ability to upload an image to represent the background. So I can choose a file and upload a file to represent the background in the Design Studio. So that's the workflow as it relates to choosing your logos and colors to represent your store. Now the other thing, let's take a look at the other anatomy that represents sort of the user interface. I want to review some basic things with you. Now I am going to direct your attention to the advertisements and banner video tutorial that's going to show you how to create and upload banner ads. And those are the images that you see rotating here, and also the thumbnail ads that are here at the bottom right. But I wanted to share with you, that's sort of the last function that I use to represent a InkSoft powered web store. You have to decorate it in terms of its marketing and advertisements. Now the way we'll do that, from the global settings tab, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to upload our banner ads. And again, I'm not going to go into complete detail here because there's a separate video tutorial on this process. So what we can do from this stage is we can go to marketing and we can go to advertisements. This is where I'm going to upload and introduce new banner advertisements. So this is nothing more than, typically for a banner ad, it's a rectangular image, 800 by 275 pixels, and basically I'm going to design something in that area, and then I'm going to save it, as a JPEG and I'll upload it into the system. So again, these are just rectangular images. You'll always have the ability to delete some of these images from this particular interface, and I can edit these banner ads as well by clicking the little tool and wrench icon. Now, the small advertisements, the mini advertisements, those are 85 by 85 pixel. And again, this is the place that you'll upload all of those images. So notice here where you can click New Advertisement, where my mouse is hovering. That's where I'm going to upload and integrate a new advertisement into InkSoft. Again, please watch the video tutorial on creating banner ads and thumbnail ads, and we'll show you the whole process in integrating those into InkSoft. Now, the other thing I want to point out is a quick reminder: when you do upload those images, I can navigate to Store Controls, and at each of my customer stores, I have the ability to manage advertisements on a local or store-by-store basis. So here we're going to look at all of the advertisements being used at Acme Apparel Company, this fake demo site that we use. And here I have the ability to really control those ads and that messaging. I can assign links to the ads. So if they're clicked, they'll go to a new page. So you can see here, here's the ads that we're currently using, and here's the banner ads that we're using. And of course I can delete or edit those from this particular workspace. Now I can add more advertisements, and this is going to reach out, and you have the ability to go ahead and click and add selected images or advertisements to a store. So think of it this way: from the Global Settings tab and Marketing, this is where you're going to introduce new advertisements into the system, and then you can access those from the store controls and your advertisement controls. So two sort of separate areas. Again, please make sure to watch the video tutorial on this workflow and process, as it will explain the full process of creating and then implementing those advertisements into InkSoft. Now you're almost done as it relates to decorating your InkSoft web store. I'm going to share with you a few other advanced controls. Namely, notice if I click on Acme Apparel Company, I'm clicking on the logo in the back end. That is going to bring me back to the home page. So you have the ability to establish a home page link. So watch this. I'm going to go ahead and click on Products, and that's going to deliver me to the product page in this particular InkSoft powered web store. Well, what I'm going to do now is click back on Acme Apparel Company. So most commonly in websites, if you were to click on a logo in the website, it's going to bring you back to the home page. And that's very true if I go to inksoft.com. So if I go to inksoft.com, and if I were to click on the blog, for example, and since we're here, I'm going to point out under Support and Training, Video Tutorials, this is where you can get access to all the current most video training tutorials. So here we are at inksoft.com/video tutorials. Well, if I want to get back to the home page quickly, most web users know that if they click on the link or the logo for the website, it'll return them back to the home page, as you can see just occurred. So you can actually establish that by clicking on Config. And we're going to go into our controls for this particular store, and we're going to go to Store Options. And under Store Options, I have the ability to establish my home link. So from Store Controls, we'll go to General and Store Options. Now there's a separate tutorial on Store Options because there's some pretty powerful and important controls in your store options. So for each of your customer stores, you have the ability, again, to go ahead and display a home link. So I would go ahead and copy and paste the link, the desired link, to bring the user right back to the home page. Now oftentimes that's going to be the exacting link for the customer page. But you might want to drive traffic back to your corporate site. Maybe you have a separate site that you want to drive traffic back to as well. So we have a home link, as you can see here, and home actually refers to the home button. So notice in the main navigation there's a home option, and in this case, it's the #1 tab. So if they click home, where do you want them to go? And again, that's where you'll use this home or the first setting. The header link or the logo link is what will drive them back to the home site. So here, demo.inksoft.com is going to be the header link, and that's exactly where somebody goes. And if I were to establish, inksoft.com for the home link, as soon as I save those changes, that will become effective. So now if somebody's in the main navigation, if they were to click home, that may return them back to the core site that you assigned to the home link. So let's go and refresh this page, and we'll click the home button, and that's going to drive us back to whatever link that we assigned. And in this case, that was inksoft.com. So you can see how you can direct and orient somebody to an entirely external website. So again, that's an advanced control that might be important or relevant to your strategy, so make sure to take advantage of that. Now, the other thing that I suggest, because this is important to control navigation and options, but in store options, you have the ability to do a lot of things like turn off certain features. You have the ability to display pricing and the ability to let your clients browse by manufacturer. So you can really control sort of what the client sees from the store options. So again, make sure to watch the other tutorial on store options to get all of the advanced sneak peeks into how to really control some of the navigation and functions that store options enables. Now, the last thing I'm going to share with you is the ability to create custom pages. So this is one of the most popular requests that we've received, and the ability to create a custom page is really a matter of integrating your blog or maybe a photo gallery of some of the projects that you've done to really show clients what you're capable of. So notice this in this particular website, this demo site. Notice in Site at the very bottom footer area, you have the ability to add custom pages to this area. So notice InkSoft blog, portfolio. Those are two custom pages that I've added to this InkSoft store. And of course, I don't have any content here, so you're not seeing it. But you do have the ability to create custom pages. Now let me share with you how to control that. So from any of your InkSoft web stores, store controls, general, policies, and custom content. Here we have the ability to click on the custom tab, and we can create a custom page and choose where we want it to display. So if I click on custom, you can see here's the gallery page that I've created, and here's the blog page that I've created, and there's the content within. So for the gallery page, I just added the text in bold, header 1 text. I added example, and you can see that example text here. But of course, you could have an embeddable gallery that displays here, so it's really a matter of your preference. So to create a new page, I'll go down here to the bottom, and if this is your first time doing it, this is all that you'll see. Create a new custom page. So of course, I'll give this a page name. I can choose whether this will display in the header and the footer, or one or the other, and then I can choose the sort order that these will display in. So if I want the blog to display first and then the gallery, I can go ahead and make all these decisions about where it should display. So I'm going to make the gallery display secondary. So of course I can control these. And for the link text, what should the text say? Should it say blog? Should it say news and announcements? So you can really name the link, and you can also name the page. And of course here is where I'll put on all the content. So if it's just text, I could go ahead and put the text here. If it's HTML or a script, I can click on the little HTML source editor and paste in the script, like an embeddable blog or whatever the content may be. Then I'm going to go ahead and save the changes here from the bottom, and you'll refresh your page and you'll find that that new page has been added. So you can add unlimited custom pages, great to take advantage of for search engine optimization, to put text, heavy content, to put in links. So a great way to boost your SEO position. So that's really it as it relates to controlling and designing your InkSoft layout and choosing your store theme. So make sure to watch the advanced tutorials on banner and advertisements, and also store options that will really give you a lot of insights into how you can decorate your InkSoft powered web stores.